One of the obvious first differences is there is a difference between men and women, sadly, these days. And there's a few reasons for that. One is salary differences and the sorts of jobs men versus women typically are in, and therefore the super guarantees that are going into super. Hey, this is Chris from StockSpot. Now in this video, I'm going to be talking about superannuation, and specifically why people who may be at similar ages and similar points in their career could have actually quite different super balances. A great place to start to understand how your super balance compares to others is the Australian Association of Super Funds, or ASFA website, where they publish on a regular basis tables which actually show the average super balances at different ages. So at the moment, for instance, for a 25 to 29-year-old in Australia, the average male super balance is about $26,000. The average female balance is around $23,000. Whereas a bit older, 35 to 39, it's close to $100,000. It's $96,000 for men and $75,000 for women. So great place to start to understand how you compare to others. One of the obvious first differences is there is a difference between men and women, sadly, these days. And there's a few reasons for that. One is salary differences and the sorts of jobs men versus women typically are in, and therefore the super guarantees that are going into super. But the other reason is a lot of women still take more time out of the workforce than men, and therefore are missing out on the opportunity to accrue super. Hopefully government policy changes this in the future, so more women are still accruing super while they're on leave. However, that is one of the first differences that may lead to you having more or less super than someone else your age. There's a couple of other main differences. The next one being your salary. So the super guarantee in Australia is about 11% at the moment of your salary, and that's going up to 11.5% and 12% soon. Anyone that has a higher salary will obviously have more super going into their super account than someone with a lower salary, and that compounds over time. So that's another difference you might see. And then the other one that may lead to differences is any other additional contributions that you or someone else might be making into super. So in addition to what your employer puts in, that's the super guarantee, it is also possible to top up your super through either concessional contributions, these are more tax efficient contributions, non-concessional contributions, or other types of contributions like spousal contributions. And this is a way of supplementing what your employer's putting in, often in a tax efficient way to give you more money at retirement. And so a good way to catch up on super, or potentially a reason why others are already ahead, is because they are making more of these voluntary contributions to super. And it is something we recommend clients at StockSpot have a look into because it may be appropriate for you. And there are some of the reasons why your super balances might be different. The other long-term reasons are obviously returns and fees. At StockSpot, we're always encouraging people to be conscious of the returns they're getting, which is largely driven by the assets in their portfolio, and the fees that they're paying. Because these are the two factors you can really control within your super. It's important to have an asset allocation that's driving returns and risk that's appropriate for how long you have to retirement. We generally recommend people with who are younger, who have longer to retirement, to be putting more in growth assets like shares and property, and vice versa. As you approach retirement, you're putting more in safer defensive assets like cash and bonds, and then fees. So the less you pay in super, the more you're going to end up in with retirement. This happens time and time again with the research we've done at StockSpot with our Fat Cat Funds report. So it's really important to keep your fees low in super, and that may be a big driver of differences in returns over the long run. We actually found that for someone in their 30s, by saving about 1.5% in fees from a high fee fund to a low fee fund, could actually compound to lead to a difference in about $250,000. So $250,000 in retirement. Imagine how many around the world trips that will actually take you. So those are some of the big differences that may lead to an anomaly in what you've earned in your super versus someone else. If you want to hear more about super investments or other similar videos, please give this one a like and subscribe to my channel.